I'm Sarah Woodbury, and this is a walk and talk about the weather in North Wales. We are not in North Wales at this time, but I chose a rainy day to talk about the weather in Wales, in large part because obviously it rains in Wales, and that's one of its characteristics. But the weather in my books amounts to its own character, almost. I think in our modern world, with our central heated houses and our cars, we forget that back in the Middle Ages, when my books are set, people lived outdoors much more than they do now. And if the weather was highly variable, as it is in Wales, it rains a lot, snows a little, but rains a lot, then they were out in that rain a lot of the time. And for that reason, when I write my books and choose the months that the event is going to be taking place, or have a character going about their day, they are faced with weather. Mostly rain, let me just say, but snow too. And I think one of the characteristics of rain in North Wales is in particular how variable it is. When we have traveled there, we have often 3 weather apps that we consult. And we find that there are 3 totally different forecasts.
And none of them actually correspond
with what's actually happening outside. As well that you can have widely different weather between Carnarvon, which is on the coast of the mainland Gwynedd, the north end of Anglesey, or Bryn Ogwen. And this is in part because one aspect of weather in Wales are the mountains, which shape how the clouds form, how much rain is dropped. So you have the rainy sides and the rain shadow. You have places where you're likely to get snow.
Yeah, if you don't like the weather where you are, drive 20 minutes and you'll...
Yes, exactly. But then if you wait there long enough, it'll be raining there too.
Yes.
And it's one of those places where 3 seasons in a day is pretty normal.
Yes, yeah. Not always the case, but
no.
Yeah.
But if you're, as a writer, the weather also allows for major plot points. For example, I've had floods multiple times in multiple series of my books.
Yeah.
And floods happen every single year.
Yeah.
You read about them in the paper and you're like, oh, it flooded in Wrexham. Oh, look, it flooded in, Carnarvon. And so therefore I'm well within sort of the natural order of events to say, oh, there's a flood because it rained. Or it snowed rarely and froze. And then it all melted all at once, and then you have another flood.
Yeah.
And my characters now lose everything in a river.
Or you get a storm on the ocean, and there's a fleet coming, and
it is forced to turn back or washes up on the beach. And we ourselves have been in Wales, though we don't live there, during a hurricane. Where it rained solidly for a week, where you're looking up the mountain and
there's a waterfall and the wind blows and the water all goes back up
and
on
it's like
top.
you have a waterfall and then you have the rain that's going back, or it's going back up
Yeah.
the mountain. All of that is made possible by this weather situation in Wales, which maybe it's not unique, but it certainly allows for an interesting character in addition to all the other characters, the human characters in my books.
Yeah.
One of the things that I say, and I have my characters say in the books, is that if you don't go out when it's raining, you won't go out at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that for them must have been true.
Yes, definitely. Well, they didn't have the luxury.
They didn't have the luxuries that we have and that extent of the character development is something that I thought it would be fun to share with you as an insight into the way I write the books. Thanks for watching my video. You can click on the playlist or subscribe to my channel to see more. There'll be a new video next week. If you want to check out my books, click on the link to my webpage.